Hi, namaste, and a very warm greetings, everyone, and happy International Women's Day. Thank you so much for joining us on one of our virtual webinar series on dignified menstruation. My name is Sharmila. I am here on behalf of the Secretariat Office of the Global South Coalition for Dignified Menstruation, who is also happened to be the organizer for this webinar series that we conduct every month. Global South Coalition, to give you a bit of a background, it is a survivor-led network that was established in 2019 to amplify and strengthen the voice of dignified menstruation globally, which initially started, its journey from the Global South itself. And now the coalition, it brings together activist, researcher, policymaker, youth leaders, and community organizations across region to challenge menstrual discrimination. For further information, if you'd like to know more about us and also our work, feel free to visit our website at www.dignifiedmenstruation.org, and you can also follow us on our social media channels. We are available on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, yeah, and also on YouTube. Before we begin, we would love to know the participants who is joining us today. So please take a moment to introduce yourself in the chat box by sharing your name, the country you're from, and the organization you work with, or also the field of work that you're mostly engaged in. So we can keep that going in the chat box. And for today's webinar, it is also special for all of us, as we are marking International Women's Day today. And for the theme today for the webinar, it is a dignified menstruation, political engagement from kitchen to parliament. So today's conversation, what we will be doing is we are here trying to explore how menstrual discrimination, it operates both as a systemic and everyday systemic level and also in everyday lives, shaping unequal power relations, that confine or exclude menstruation from everyday spaces. So to begin our conversation, I would like to invite our speakers to the panel. First, it is my pleasure to introduce Lucky Cherry. I hope I get that right, Lucky. Lucky is Lucky is passionate about advancing gender equality and using evidence-based research to drive meaningful policy change. With over 10 years of experience, he works at the intersection of advocacy, research, and community engagement to amplify voices that are often unheard. So, especially committed to advancing menstrual health and dignity and to creating a world where every menstruator can manage their cycles with safety, confidence, and dignity. Our second speaker is Dr. Neha Damani. Dr. Neha is a legal researcher and academic writer working on issues of gender justice, menstrual discrimination, and sexual and reproductive health and rights. Her work examines menstruation as a human right issue through the lens of equality, dignity, and public health. Drawing on feminist legal theory and constitutional principles, she explores how menstrual stigma contributes to structural discrimination in education, healthcare, workspace, and public life, particularly in the global South context. Thank you to both of you for joining us today, and welcome to the panel. So I'll just go straight to the question for the panel discussion. So my first question would be to Lucky. So, menstrual discrimination is often discussed as a social or cultural issue throughout the world. But if you look deeper into it, it is a systemic issue that is linked to patriarchy, power, and rights. So, from your perspective, how does menstrual discrimination reinforces broader patriarchal structure and unequal power relation in the society?
Thank you so much, Mila, and happy International Women's Day to everybody on this call. So back to your question. So at the core of menstrual stigma is the patriarchal need to uphold and sustain power and control. Now, one of the key ways it does this is by controlling who produces and passes down information and knowledge about menstruation. Now, through what scholars and researchers call the concealment imperative, patriarchal systems label menstruation as something other than what it truly is, a natural and biological process. Now, this creates a culture where menstruation is not to be openly discussed. And when that silence is enforced, the people with the most relevant lived experiences, the women and the girls, are taken out of that conversation entirely. Now, what fills that void is patriarchy itself. Now, it shapes narratives that dismiss menstrual pain, frame menstruators as emotionally unstable, irrational, and therefore unsuitable for leadership or decision making. Now, we see this play out in everyday interaction. A woman refuses to be silenced, and the response is, oh, she must be menstruating, reducing her agency to a bodily function and equating menstruation with irrationality. That is a tool of control. And I can speak to the consequence of this silence personally. When I first started menstruating I was 12, I knew absolutely nothing. I did not know how to use a menstrual pad. I wore the same menstrual pad for 3 days because no one told me I had to change the menstrual pad. And I had older women around me, but they themselves had been so indoctrinated in the culture of silence that they passed down no information at all. During that time, I was uncomfortable, I smelled, my performance in school dropped, and I could not even look people in their faces. Now, I did not know how to use a menstrual pad until my first year in the university. And my story is not unique, right? It's the story of millions of girls, particularly across the global south. Now, when girls do not have access to menstrual products, adequate sanitation, or even knowledge about their own bodies, they miss school, they fall behind, many drop out entirely. And once a girl drops out of school, the path narrows very quickly for her into low-paying, insecure job, into economic dependence, into deeper vulnerability. That is the pipeline from menstrual shame to educational exclusion to economic marginalization. And that pipeline is one of patriarchy's most efficient engines. But it doesn't just stop at households and classrooms, it reaches all the way to the higher levels of governance. Menstrual health was absent from the International Conference on Population and Development. It was absent from the Millennium Declaration. Even under the SDGs, it's not under health, not under gender equality, not even under water and sanitation. And when we ask why, the answer is revealing. The people writing these frameworks are overwhelmingly men who have never menstruated, operating in systems where they consider menstruation too shameful a topic to raise. Now, that is what structural invisibility looks like. It's a silence so normalized that half the population's basic needs don't make it onto the agenda. So when we ask how menstrual stigma reinforces patriarchal structure, the answer is at every level. It is embodied in the shame girls carry even before they understand their own bodies. It is relational in the silence that is passed down between generations of women who were never given permission to speak. It's institutional in policies that address everything except the needs of people who menstruate. And it's economic in the poverty that follows when girls are pushed out of schools and women out of workplaces. This is why I believe the conversation must shift, right? Dismantling menstrual stigma is not simply about breaking taboos or distributing menstrual products, as necessary as that is. It is about redistributing power. It's about asking who gets to speak about menstruation, who gets to define it, who gets to make policy about it, and who has been excluded from all of these conversations. In conclusion, until we center the voices and the expertise of those who actually live this experience, we are not addressing stigma, we're simply accommodating it. And in no human history has accommodation ever dismantled a power structure. Thank you, Shamila.
Thank you so much, Lucky, for briefly walking us down, down how it is in the society and how the menstrual discrimination had just, passed through generation, and how it has continued to silence women and girls, not just in the during the menstrual phase, but even after that, during their whole life, life cycle, like how it affects their education and also in the decision making policies and all that. And also, thank you so much for sharing your lived experience. I think a lot of us here can resonate to that. I can resonate to your experience at some level, coming from the global south. I think most of us, a lot of us can, correlate to that at some point. So with that, I'll move to Dr. Neha. Also, what we're trying to talk here, with the theme of our webinar, uh, we're also trying to connect private spaces, like the kitchen, with public decision-making spaces such as parliament. And why do you think it is important to recognize the link between everyday gender norms within households and women's or menstruators' participation in political and leadership spaces?
Hello, Sharmila. Happy Women's Day to everyone. Hello, Lucky, and all the participants here. So, before I start to answer, and thank you so much for the thoughtful question. So, before I start this, I would like to tell you a small story to connect with this dignified menstruation theme as we are starting today. So, before we starting our discussion, policies related to laws and kitchen to parliament, as the theme says, so, related to dignified menstruation, I think it is important to reflect on how most of us first learned about this menstruation. As Lucky also said about her story, and you also resonate with that story. So, I would like to also add my experiences and even most of the girls' experiences. So, for me, and I believe many of girls, the first experience for of our menstruation often we can say accompanied above, it's not accompanied with the full information or support. What I remember when I first told my mother and I went that key menstruation started, so there was nothing, she didn't explain in detail, and there was only and only silent. And what I have been told, that is quite surprising. At this age I am like remembering all these things. Instead informing about this thing, instead giving proper knowledge related to this thing, I've been told certain things, that I could not go this where I could not do this certain things, I was not allowed to do certain household things. So sometimes even certain spaces within my own home that I was expected to avoid. So, and that moment, it is important because it shows how something purely biologically immediately becomes social and sometimes we can say restrictive. So, in this case, you can see that thing. If I go back and I'll tell you something related to the perspective of this thing, that including in India, menstrual experience often begin with inside the household, and that girls are sometimes told not to enter the kitchen or not to participate in certain activities. We have must encountered this thing. So that thing I would explain, that thing started with kind of respect. If I'll go back in history, so that thing, it was started with a respect to the bodies. That's something which makes a girl to a complete woman, that is your menstruation. So once it starts, that will make you a beautiful woman. That the beauty of menstruation is that this is the only thing which can give you a proper identity of woman. So the concept related to these restrictions, which I would again say, the concepts related to this restriction was not that you are not supposed to do this thing and that thing. It was related to that giving her respect. Earlier back, there was no proper hygienic health awareness facilities were there, and that I would say there was quite limited facilities that moment of time. So that is the reason the concept of restrictions was to give respect to the woman body and to make her take rest, so she should not do other activities and other things, because these things sometimes for some certain women it becomes very painful. The period is complete rest period for that girl. So that restrictions turned, sorry, that respectfulness towards the women body turned into this restriction, that is this patriarchy mentality. You can think that at the time when we're giving respect to that woman, and how they think, or how these things inculcated in the men, even in culture, in the communities. However, over time, what we have seen that the respect gradually turned into strong restrictions. So it is important to understand that the menstruation is not only a cultural issue. It has now connected with the broader question of, you can see Article 21 in Constitution, that is a dignity, autonomy, and now I would say ki equal participation, or sometimes equality. So with legal perspective, if I'll see the kitchen to parliament thing, then the menstruation can also be through the lens of constitution rights. In India, the right to life under Article 21, that also includes dignity and health. A few days ago only, there's then this right also that's been covered in Supreme Court's judgment, that now we need to provide menstruation facilities to all the women in school, in workplace, at workplace, or even that other places where the women are involved. But what had happened, that I have already told you, we have covered it in dignity. But what happened, rather than accepting it and rather than giving it to respect, we have excluded women from particular participation, or even say communities, or even I would say education, work, public participation. So this right has become a big question right now. This is something biological we have been blessed with, but now that respect, that part of our body has become a restriction. So this is why the idea of moving from kitchen to parliament is so meaningful issue, that once confined to private spaces, that the menstruation thing spaces now must enter to public discussion. Now we have to discuss this thing, and the proper education in schools, and the policy framework, and even I would say that governance has to be there. So I would like to say that dignifying menstruation is not only about hygiene product, it is also something related to your dignity, equality, and women's full participation in society. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Neha. Thank you so much for crafting it very beautifully, and like even I get to learn a lot and relate a lot as well. Especially when we're talking about this issue, especially day like today, where we are celebrating International Women's Day. And if we look back in the history, how International Women's Day actually started, it's you know it's it started as a concept where we are respecting the labor of women, right? And the contradiction here is like we say that we allow women to we designate them to be in a position of as a caregiver or someone who cooks, cleans, like in a household activities, but then when they menstruate they are not allowed to do all this chores that they are supposed to do. And this contradiction here, I think it's a big power imbalance, and how the society or the patriarchy has shaped what women are supposed to do and when, and what women are supposed not to do when, right? And when that happens, women are excluded from the decision making space, even at the house. Even at the house, like their decision making capacity is very low, like because we are told what we are supposed to do. And when we go out of the house, and it's even invisible. So how, like, building upon all this conversation that we've had, like from your experience also, how do you think that this kind of exclusion for a women has influenced mostly in education, employment, or especially in the political engagement, how we are pushing women back, not allowing them to have this decision making capacity, or having say on their bodies, like bodily autonomy or the agency. Like it's invisible, but when we look into it, there's a systemic effect impact on all this, and how it has shaped women's decision or participation in in politics specifically. Yeah. If you could reflect on that. Good day.
Okay. So again, it's a nice question, very thoughtful question, I would say. So when Lucky, would you like to answer this? I have to ask, or can I?
Yeah, sure, I could take on that. Um, Based on what you said, a question that you asked, Shamila, so I feel like um, what this women are assigned to like do household chores, and then when they menstruate, they're told that they are unclean. So it kind of creates a psychological imbalance
Mhm.
where this is what you're assigned to do, this is what you feel is your position. And then somehow along the line, you're told you're also not too good to be in that position because you are menstruating. So this psychological imbalance keeps women in a state of limbo where they are not actually sure what their precise role is and if they are going to be pure enough to actively take part in that role. Now, with that psychological mindset, I'm going to discourage them from moving into leadership positions because they will ask, oh, what happened when I begin to menstruate? Do I take a step away from leadership until my cycle is over? So all of this is a mind game, a mind control that patriarchy has used to subdue women and keep them under management, to keep them from aspiring to take on more leadership positions, to take on more decision-making and positions. So that's my take on that, Jamila.
Yep. We've just been conditioned to think certain ways and adjust ourselves to that expectations, basically. Dr. Neha, if you could, if you want to add anything to that
Yes,
point.
so I would say when it comes to we can see a contradictory things that at certain period you can do certain works and for certain days you are not allowed to do. So that means our independence, I would say, that depends on periodical, that is like customized confirmation or a condition that was. So the contradiction reveals deeper power imbalance, we can say. It shows how patriarchy structures often decide that women are allowed to do when they can do it and when where they can participate. So that means that was completely depend on certain conditions that they are allowed to do this thing, they are not allowed to do this thing. So when these norms operate within the household, they definitely all influence women's decision making power. In many families, women participation in household decision can be limited because of roles, expectations, and already this kind of mindset, because we have given very limited access to women to participate in household decision. So this it
Um,
extends into a broader space such as education, employment, or even political participation, we can see. So when girls grow up in this environment where there is mobility, voice, bodily autonomy is restricted,
mhm.
it can affect their confidence or I would say opportunities in later in life. Over time, this contributes to the unrespectations of towards we can say women in leadership or decision making spaces or even including politics. So when we talk about issues like menstruation, bodily autonomy and dignity, we are not only talking about our personal experiences. We are also trying to address the structural inequalities that has shaped women's participation in education, employment, or even governance. So this connection helps us to see that why this conversation about the dignity, equality, and we can say agency are essential at this moment. The only and only we need to strengthen women's participation, that we should actually leave this stigmas or kind of taboos related to this menstruation behind, and with that the proper education, proper awareness to the coming generation, that will definitely enhance the women's participation in public or even political life. This is my take.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Neha.
Thank you.
Moving to Lucky. So addressing menstrual discrimination, it requires, as we discussed, it requires more than just an awareness. it requires systemic change, like Dr. Neha also explained briefly. So, from your experience and expertise, what do you think? Like, what kind of role can policymakers, institutions, or civil society can play in ensuring that menstrual dignity are recognized as a human rights and a political issue?
Okay, thank you, Shamila, for that question. So I'm going to start by being direct, right? Awareness is important, but awareness without action is performance.
Mhm.
We have been raising awareness about menstrual stigma for years, yet the structures that produce and sustain that stigma remain largely intact. So the real question is not whether people know menstrual discrimination exists. It is whether those with power are willing to do anything about it. And the first thing that must change is who is sitting at the table when decisions are being made. Because here is the simple truth here. When menstruators are absent from decision-making spaces, menstrual health will always be an afterthought. There was research in the United States where we saw entire categories of legislature had been written by men who had not even considered including menstrual hygiene products simply because the topic never entered their frame of reference. This is what happens when half the population's lived experience is structurally excluded from governance. But the starting point for systematic change is representation. Now, not as a token gesture. It has to be a fundamental requirement for policies that reflect the reality of people who menstruate. Now, to your question, what should policymakers specifically do? Three things stand out here. The first thing is menstrual products should not be taxed as luxury items. They are basic necessities. In Kenya, in 2004, when Kenya abolished VAT on menstrual products, some countries have followed suit. Australia has followed suit, Canada, India, and United Kingdom. In Scotland, in 2022, they made tampons and menstrual pads free and available at designated areas like community centers, youth clubs, and pharmacies. These are models that we can learn from across the global south and push our own governments to adopt. Secondly, menstrual leave should become a part of labor law. The idea that a person should suffer in silence at work every month because there is no policy to accommodate a natural biological process is itself a form of discrimination. To my knowledge, 7 countries now operate some form of menstrual leave policy. I think Spain, Indonesia, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, Vietnam, and Zambia, all with distinct approaches. Now, let me argue that that policy is going to be abused, but data from Spain's first year implementation showed that the policy was not abused. So there is no evidence to support that. What comes by evidence is that when a workforce accommodates menstrual health, employees report greater satisfaction, they report greater productivity. Also, menstrual products must be mandated in public establishments. I mean, if we can accept that toilet paper should be available in public restrooms, there is no logical reason why menstrual products should not be. Now, moving away from policymakers back to institutions, particularly schools and healthcare systems. Now, their role is very critical. I believe that menstrual education should be embedded in school curricula. Now, not as a one-off awkward session, but as a comprehensive, ongoing, shame-free learning that begins even before monarchy and should include both the boys. From by the story that I shared, I reached university before I understood how I could use the menstrual product. That is an institutional failure. Also, healthcare systems too should stop treating topics around menstruation as something to be endured. We have conditions like endometriosis that takes an average of 7 to 10 years to diagnose, in part because the medical system has normalized and dismissed menstrual suffering. And then there comes civil society, where we have the activists, we have NGOs, we have the grassroots movement. I consider this role as perhaps the most important because they do what the government often wants. They challenge indoctrination. They are the ones going to communities and saying, oh, what you were taught about menstruation being shameful is wrong. What you were taught about it being dirty is wrong. the WHO has acknowledged that it was grassroots workers and activists, notably those from the global south, who challenged menstrual health and placed it on the global agenda. Now that work must continue. But underneath all of these concrete actions, yeah, I believe that there is a deeper reframe that this conversation demands. Now, menstrual health is a human rights issue, not a hygiene issue at this point, not even a women's issue, but a core human rights issue. I'll explain. When a girl misses school because she cannot afford pads, that is a violation of her right to education. When a woman is banned from her kitchen or her place of worship because she's menstruating, that is a violation of her right to dignity and participation. When policies are made about bodies that bleed by people who have never bled, that is a violation of the right to representation. So my call is this: we have to stop treating menstrual dignity as something that is, oh, it's nice to have, but we should start treating it as something we should hold our governments accountable for. The framework already exists. It is in the language of human rights, of dignity of person, of non-discrimination. What is missing now is the political will. And that political will only comes when menstruators are in the room where decisions are being made, when civil society keeps the pressure on, and when we collectively refuse to accept that half the population's basic needs are optional. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lucky, for such a rich inputs. I think you covered it all from accessible menstrual products that are affordable, and from menstrual leave to survival-led policy making, and putting it as in a global agenda, and is an integral part of human rights. So you've covered it all. So just wanted to add a follow-up question to that. Like when we talk about menstrual leave, and there are some contradiction if we listen to all other people, and even in Global South Coalition, we believe that if it is not done right, then menstrual leave can create an impact of showcasing women as weak, like how this society is trying to present, like in some way, maybe if it's not done right, maybe we are creating the you're maybe we're aligning to that concept. So what is your take on that? Did you get my question?
Yes, I get your question. So I believe that every woman's body is different, and people react to menstruation differently. Some women experience like extreme cramps, and women experience some experience like quiet cramps. I think that is where inclusivity comes into place, putting everybody's reality on the table. Now, if we're moving to the narrative that is going to make women weak, what about those women that genuinely cannot function during this period? Do we exclude them from the workforce? So this is where it still pulls back to making people with these experiences part of the decision making. I believe in a room where these policies are being made, if these women with their different experiences put out all of these experiences, all of these realities, there was going to be, of course, a balance. But when this is made when more of a male audience who do not have these experiences, then that narrative that when we put menstrual leave, they are going to label women as weak because they don't have the lived experiences. So it all falls back to who are those at the table when these policies are being made? Whose experiences are we using as a yardstick to make these policies? So it's so when it falls back on that, and when these women are being accurately represented on this table, that narrative, that whole conversation is not going to happen, because now there's going to be like some sort of balance that is built on lived experiences and lived realities of these women.
Yeah, that's so powerful. Thank you so much, Lucky, for that. And building on to this same discussion, I would like to ask Dr. Neha, as we look ahead, what practical actions or shift in mindsets are needed from household to policy making spaces to challenge patriarchal norms, promote shared responsibilities, and ensure that all menstruators can live and participate in society with dignity and equality. What is your take on that?
Thank you, Sharmila, once again. So, from a legal perspective, as you are asking this question, so I would like to answer through the legal perspective. So, dignified menstruation can be understood within the broader framework of constitutional rights.
Yeah.
In India, for example, the Constitution provides a strong foundation for recognizing menstruation dignity. So, first, I would like to introduce Article 21, that is the Right to Life article. In coming years, we have seen a strong transformation in this Article 21 that starts with only and only right to life. But from this 2070, a very strong judgment by Supreme Court, Justice Chandrachud, Justice Puttaswamy judgment that has been interpreted by the judiciary to include dignity and health, privacy, and bodily autonomy. If dignity is the core of constitutional protection, then the menstrual dignity must also fall within that scope. And with that, I would like to add another constitutional perspective in this. The second is the Article 14, which guarantees right to equality before the law. So when girls or women face exclusion from education, workplace, public spaces because of their menstruation related stigmas, or we can say lack of facilities, it raises a question of substantive equality. And the next article I would like to add, this is Article 15, which prohibits discrimination on the basis of sex. So many menstruation related restrictions or stigmas are closely linked with the gender discrimination, that man and woman discrimination that we can. So legally speaking, when I'm legally speaking related to menstruation should not be treated only a public health concern. It should also be understood as a matter of constitutional dignity, equality, and again, I would add that bodily autonomy. So, if the dignity forms the core of constitutional protection, then the menstrual dignity must also be recognized as a part of the broader framework of human rights and I would say a constitutional justice. So, this is, I can say, right to life equals to right to life and dignity. So we women should live with dignity, and the dignity adds this menstruation, education, awareness, and even equal participation. So, from a constitutional perspective, I have already shared Justice Pusta Swami's judgment and Union of India, where the court has recognized privacy, dignity, and autonomy. So, with that, we have definitely these kind of rights. And even with Sabrimala judgment, also emphasized the constitutional morality, that is a gender equality, when examining the restriction based on menstruation. There is a landmark judgment, Sabrimala Mandir, where the women were not allowed to enter into that temple. So that is the landmark judgment in that the constitution asks that if we have right to equality, then why women cannot enter into this? So same the question I am, if we have right to equality, why there's a discrimination on the basis of menstruation? That need to be addressed by our Supreme Court. So therefore, menstrual dignity should not be viewed merely a public health concern. It must also be recognized as a question of constitutional morality and dignity. With that, as Lucky spoke about this menstrual leave and all. So another important aspect of menstrual dignity that is increasing and being discussed globally, that is menstrual leave. The idea behind this leave is recognize that menstruation can affect definitely individual differently. Every woman experience differently. From some women, it may involve significant physical discomfort, and some are very much okay with this. So, from legal perspective, menstrual leave should not be seen as a privilege, but I would like it should be a part of creating inclusive or a supportive and we can say supportive workplace. So however it is important that such policies are designed in that manner, that should be a careful manner, so that they do not reinforce stereotypes or lead to further discrimination against women in employment. In most of the countries like Japan, South Korea, or Indonesia, menstrual leave policies already exist in different forms. We have seen that there is a different forms of menstruation leaves are there. So in India, as well as there has been a legislative discussion, have seen that policy proposal around the issue we have seen in last few months. So ultimately, the goal should not to ensure only I would say workplace dignity, flexibility, or health support, while also protecting equality and participation in workplace has to be there. So I believe the conversation should focus on, I guess, creative, supporting, and flexible environment for women. A menstruation leave can be one option, but that larger goal is ensuring again dignity, health support, and equality at workplace.
Thank you so much, Dr. Neha, for beautifully putting everything together and walking us through the legal aspect of it. As we're coming to almost the end of the webinar, I'll see if we have any question from the audience here. If you could just raise your hand and ask a question, or even you can put it in the chat box for our speakers. Do we have any questions for the speakers, or any reflections or feedback or anything you might have? Okay. So as we wait for the question, just out of curiosity, just wanted to ask both of you, like, we've discussed all this, possible way forward in incorporating dignified menstruation, as an human right issue, and 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 if when we, I mean, even to center it on today's theme as well. Like, if we truly want to move, this from kitchen to parliament, from everyday space where gender norms are reproduced to decision-making spaces where policies are shaped, then what would be your key, one action? What would be one thing that you would pick, is most urgent to advance dignified menstruation, gender equality, and meaningful political participation for menstruator? What would be that one thing that you think, is most urgent and crucial to moving the shift from kitchen to parliament for in this regard? What would be one point? You're just allowed to have one point.
So what I do, like my one point is creating a mind shift.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, you dare not mention menstruation. It was something that was forbidden to just mention. So I
Mm-hmm.
feel like changing the mind shift to the upcoming generation, to younger girls, that this is a biological thing. It is purely natural. There is nothing to be ashamed of. When I was growing up too, you could not bring out like a menstrual pad. You had to like wrap it in things in your clothes and like move all. So I tried to break all of that. When I have when I have like pads in my bag, or in the pad, I wait it out. It's a pad. I'm not carrying a bomb. It's a pad. It's just a pad. Like nothing to be ashamed of. So I think
Yes.
breaking that mind shift and making women and young girls accept that this is natural. I have that. I can give life. That is why I'm experiencing this. I should not be ashamed of this. So when all of that mind shift happens, that shame is gone. And once that shame is gone, it's replaced with a confidence for you to want to achieve things that that you should achieve, and not because you're being held back by, oh, I'm unclean, I'm dirty, and all of that. So once that mindset happens, so I take it to myself. I go to secondary schools, younger girls like hold like little meeting, little clubs. So we talk about menstruation. We bring out a menstrual pad. This is how to wear it. This is how to dispose of it. This is how your body is going to react when you see a menstruation. So all of that thing, equipping them with information, equipping them with power. to take away the shame that is previously associated with menstruation.
Yeah, that would definitely be the first and foremost important thing we could do, like conditioning or shaping menstruators from the very early age. So, we cure problem from the very beginning and, proceed with that. Dr. Neha, if you have anything to add to that.
Yes, I'm completely agree with Lucky. The thing which I told you, that thing which is started with respect of women's body and now had turned into restrictions. So we need to start that respect thing again at home only. See, we need to give respect. During that period, I have told you that every woman experience differently. So in that type of situation, we need to make male, even I won't say women only, male of the family or even in the society, they should accept it as a simple biological thing.
Mhm.
As they are also growing, there are kind of some kind of mustache, beard we can see on their faces. That is also part of their puberty. And same with women, menstruations are part of our puberty that we are growing, and that makes us women. I have already explained that a boy turned into a man just because of this puberty thing, that is the mustache and beard and etc. That make him proper men. So that is also part of women's life, that menstruation is there. So this is completely biological thing. Rather than making it as a stigma that oh, the menstruation started something like this, so we need to accept it gracefully. In certain states in India, that is, I am like in South India, I have seen this puberty party that
Mhm.
family celebrates women's menstruation. Once the first menstruation day started, they gather and they invite all the family members. They give her certain gifts, and they celebrate it because she has now become a proper woman. So this is a kind of celebration thing has to be adapted in our society, rather than making it like you need to cover your, as Lucky said, that we need to cover our pads. Even we did that, even we did that when we used to go to a grocery store or the some other stores to buy this thing. So we used to hide this thing that I am going with this pads, and if anybody sees, they'll come to know that I'm in periods. So that was kind of mentality we too had. So now at this moment, as a legal academician, I always discuss with my student, we need to make this thing very comfortable. We need to discuss this thing on table only. It is not something you are discussing behind the curtains. Discuss it with your family members, accept it. If girls in period, just give her respect rather than making other things restricting her. Ask her, if you are comfortable, then go. If you are not comfortable, then take rest. This is completely her choice, her body, and her biological changes are. So this type of mentality can shift kitchen to that parliament thing that we have. So yes, I would say ki yes, policy, governance, and other compliances will work. But before that, it is our society, our culture. They need to accept, and then only the change can happen.
So from the conversation today, it can start as simple as from, your own home, your family, and then, once that is done, then we move beyond that and maybe to the parliament and bigger decision-making spaces. So with that, and I think, okay, I see a raise of hand. Binda, please go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarmila, Dr. Neha, and Lucky. Uh, Let me introduce myself first. I am Binda Khatri, and I'm a second year PhD student in the Department of Sociology at University of Texas at Austin. I'm very early in my research career, and right now I'm from Nepal, so there is a very I would say like it's kind of cultural taboos. Menstruation is a cultural taboos in my country. There are a lot of restriction surrounding menstruation, a lot. And in some region of Nepal, I don't know if you have ever heard about Chaupadi Pratha or not. Women are not allowed to be in their house, and they have to be somewhere in a small hut outside of their home. And back in 2024 or 2025, one woman who was living in that chow goat vehicle, it's like a separate set, was killed because of snake bite. So it's still cultural taboos. This menstruation have, these rituals have caused a lot of deaths in my country, and it is still going on. And as a early researcher, I am looking at how this menstrual restriction and inaccessibility of menstrual hygiene product have association with lethal reproductive health. Maybe like I'm looking at number of children right now, and it shows like there is a very positive association with number of children later in life. So I was wondering if Dr. Neha or Dr. Lucky has any insights on how girls, or how this menstrual restriction and inaccessibility of hygienic product in their early age have association with their reproductive health later in their life. Thank you.
Yes, Binda, I really heard about this. Some cultural, some taboo, some community, they have their different practices. I told you now that thing even we have seen in this, in my country, in my state, or even I would say in my neighborhood also. So you would be surprised, you'll be surprised to hear that there are certain things that if a girl who has just given birth, a girl who is in menstruation, she can't enter into this particular house because they are kind of, people say that this is a kind of uh, negativity or kind of other energy which should not interrupt with that a woman. Just because of that menstruation she has given to that girl or boy birth, and you are not allowing other women who is in menstruation in that house. So there are certain cultural restrictions being made by human only. It is not something related biologically. There is no interference biologically, you are completely all right. But for that, I told you now, it will take time, but definitely we need to start with our house only. That awareness should start with our family, the acceptance should start with our family, the inclusion of that girl during that menstruation in the family for everything, that starts from our house only. We can't change the society in a one day, but we can change our family in, I guess, month or two. So it will take time. I'm not just saying that that policy and the other things, yes, there are provisions given in article 21, article 14, article 15 in Indian constitution, I'm talking about that. But still the restrictions in the family, they are restricting women in their particular region, in their particular home. They are like bounded by certain other things. So that we need to start from our house only. That's the only thing which I believe that we need to start. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult.
Right. Lucky, you want to add anything to this, or?
Yes, I want to add. So, Binda, I feel also that this is where awareness also plays a part. Just as Dr. Lee has said, we have gotten some level of knowledge, so it is imperative that we pass that knowledge, that we break that cycle of silence and pass that knowledge to the next girl. It could be a younger sister, a younger family member, but pass that knowledge to the next girl and let her know that it is okay for her to still pass that knowledge to the next girl. And some communities were faced with lack of access to some of these menstrual products. And imperatively, when we are not exposed to the right ways of handling menstruation, it could get into some health issues, right? There have been some research on reusable menstrual products. There have been some research and studies around, how to go about menstruation in a situation where there's no access to like menstrual products. So all of that research and passing all of that awareness to the next skill could go a long way to ensure that both the dignity and health of women and girls are secured.
Thank you so much, Lucky. And and also to add on to that, what Binda has mentioned about Thaupadi and how it has, and she also mentioned how it, like, is something that have killed so many people in the country. Yeah, so from my perspective, what I think, like, Thaupadi is just a form of menstrual discrimination that is happening all around the world. In Nepal, it is being practiced as in the name of Thaupadi. In India, there's something else. In Kenya, there's something else. In other countries, there's different names and euphemism that have been, practiced over the year and being passed down to the generation. But when we talk about dignified menstruation, we talk about the systemic impact. Like, when we say Chaupati or other means menstrual discrimination, it is a symptomic impact. This is a symptom of the systemic imbalance that has been created, very early in life, from patriarchy, power imbalance, and all that. Like, who get to say, who get to control women's body and all that. So when we start looking beyond discrimination, beyond discriminatory practice, there's a entire tree, just it's just a tip of the iceberg, you see. Like, there's a whole different system embedded into that. And when we look at it, just see the symptoms, but it's also really important to go into the root and dismantle all this from the roots, and focus on that part. So when we fix that, the symptomatic impact will definitely resolve, on its own. So that's what I wanted to highlight to that. And also, we are at the end. I mean, we're almost running out of time. So I think with that, we should close the webinar today. I will not take a lot of time, but I'll certainly take some time to thank our incredible speaker, Lucky, and Dr. Neha. Thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for this very rich discussion we've had. And as we mark International Women's Day today, we hope this conversation encourage all of us to continue shifting the narrative, shifting the power imbalance, and providing menstruators and non-menstruators with equal opportunity to engage in the kitchen and also outside of the kitchen in other decision-making spaces, including the parliament. I hope you've enjoyed the session as much as I did. And I think we should call it a day. And thank you so much again. Thank you, Dr. Neha. Thank you, Lucky. Thank you, everyone. Have a good rest of the day, and happy International Women's Day again.
Thank you
Bye.
so much, Sharmila, for inviting us and for this beautiful opportunity. Thank you so much, Lucky,
Yeah,
for this insightful session and conversation I had with you. Thank you so much.
thank you.